Some records in history seem almost impossible to break, and it often takes years, if not decades, before someone finally shatters them. These monumental feats, whether in sports, entertainment, or science, set a high bar and stood as symbols of excellence for many years. Here are the top 10 records that took decades to break. 1. Babe Ruth's home run record, 714. Babe Ruth, one of the greatest baseball players of all time, set the home run record of 714 in 1935. This record stood for an astonishing 39 years until Hank Aaron surpassed it in 1974. Aaron's achievement was groundbreaking, and it took almost 4 decades for another player to break Ruth's iconic record, despite Ruth's larger-than-life persona in baseball history. 2. Roger Bannister's 4-minute mile. In 1954, Roger Bannister made history by becoming the first person to run a mile in under 4 minutes, completing it in 3 minutes, 59.4 seconds. This record was considered a monumental physical barrier in sports. It wasn't until 46 years later, in 2000, that a new generation of runners, led by Hicham El Guerral, began pushing the boundary even further, though the record remains a pivotal moment in athletic history. 3. The 100 meters dash world record, Usain Bolt's 9.58. Usain Bolt's 9.58 second record in the 100 meters, set in 2009, is often seen as the pinnacle of sprinting. While it has only been 15 years since Bolt's extraordinary performance, the record remains so far unbroken because of its sheer dominance. Despite advances in training, techniques, and technology, Bolt's lightning-fast time has yet to be challenged in a meaningful way. 4. The longest consecutive baseball game, 33 innings. In 1981, the longest professional baseball game by innings was played between the Pawtucket Red Sox and the Rochester Red Wings. The game lasted for 33 innings, spanning over 8 hours, and it wasn't until 2018 that a major league game lasted longer in terms of time, although the 33 innings held strong as the longest by innings until recent years. 5. Edwin Moses' 122 consecutive wins in the 400 meters hurdles. Edwin Moses, one of the most dominant athletes in the history of track and field, set a seemingly unbreakable record of 122 consecutive wins in the 400-meter hurdles between 1977 and 1987. Moses' record remained unchallenged for 20 years until the rise of newer athletes in the sport, and it still stands as one of the most remarkable streaks in track and field history. 6. The Beatles' Hey Jude, 9-week run at number 1. The Beatles' hit song, Hey Jude, had an unprecedented 9-week run at the top of the Billboard Hot 100 chart in 1968. This record for longest-running number 1 song by a single artist in the US stood unchallenged for decades until Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You, in 1992. Yet, this Beatles record remained iconic in the world of pop music for years. 7. Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hit streak. Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak in Major League Baseball, set in 1941, is one of the most revered records in sports history. This streak has become synonymous with baseball excellence and has yet to be broken, despite numerous attempts. The closest any player has come is Pete Rose, with a 44-game streak in 1978, but DiMaggio's record is still considered one of the most unbreakable in baseball. 8. The most consecutive World Series titles, New York Yankees, 5. The New York Yankees' dominance of the World Series in the late 1940s and early 1950s, with 5 consecutive titles from 1949 to 1953, remained unmatched for decades. The closest anyone has come to this feat since was the Yankees themselves in the late 1990s, but the 5-title streak remained a symbol of baseball dominance for more than 40 years before it was challenged by teams in the modern era. 9. Michael Phelps' 8 gold medals in one Olympics. In 2008, Michael Phelps made history by winning 8 gold medals in a single Olympic Games, a record that was seen as a milestone for swimming and the Olympics in general. While it only took 12 years for Phelps' record to be challenged, no one has yet to break his streak of 8 gold medals, making it one of the most remarkable Olympic records in history. 10. The longest-running TV show, The Simpsons. While not a competitive achievement in the traditional sense, The Simpsons holds the record for the longest-running American sitcom and animated series, with its debut in 1989. After 35 years, the show is still running, having passed the previous record holders like The Flintstones, which aired for 6 seasons, and continues to influence pop culture decades later. These records showcase human perseverance, talent, and the extraordinary ability to break boundaries in sports, entertainment, and beyond. While some of these records still stand as a testament to past achievements, others have been surpassed, reminding us that the pursuit of excellence is never truly finished. Whether it's athletic feats or cultural milestones, these long-standing records serve as benchmarks that inspire new generations to push the limits of what is possible.